The next poet is Arturo, and he will be accompanied by a musician.
Good evening, y'all. I'm from the South. I'm from New Orleans. She's from New Orleans, recent graduate of the new school up here. He's a New Orleans trumpeter, or as we say, trumpeter. He's a Linton Smith Jr., son of a very, very good friend of mine. Very good friend. We worked for years at the Urban League of Greater New Orleans together, his father and I. But the first thing I'd like to do is to thank the people of New York for the selfless assistance that you gave us in our hour of need. Now, you saw who was out there, so I'm not going to even go into the explanation any further, but thank you very, very much. In college, in 1968, I met Mr. Baraka. We, back at that time, Tuskegee had the funds to do that, right? But I played Walker Vessels in his play called The Slave, which I've always maintained was a much better one than the one that won the Obie Award, the Dutchman, because the Dutchman, I think the white folks won in the end, but let me not be ugly. But truthful. But I played Walker Vessels in The Slave, and it changed my life. That same year, Mr. Baraka, as I said earlier, then Don Lee, Haki Matabuchi, Nikki Giovanni, Larry Neal, Hoyt Fuller, Margaret Danner, Mari Evans, they all visited our campus, and that changed a lot of people's lives. So this particular piece for Jayne Cortez and Amiri Baraka, it's from one of our traditions at home called the second line. You know what the second line is? Okay, so you know about the dancing with the handkerchief and all that. Okay. But this is an occasional piece. The first part of the second line usually takes place in the church, but it's very solemn, very respectful, very somber, and the theme of the whole gathering in the church is it's hauntingly melodious, let's say. The mood is hauntingly melodious. But the second line, it's a street parade, as you know, of musicians, et cetera, et cetera. Then after the burial, that's when the party starts, and the person is sent away with a spirit of joy. And it is this joyful post-burial celebration that has long struck a chord with both visitors to our city and, of course, our indigenous people, us, right? But this piece is called Second Line. And that first part is called Dirge. He's going to play a nice funeral dirge for you. And the second part is called Dance, okay? But the second line to Jayne Cortez and Amiri Baraka, Dirge. Death's door opens. We are bereaved indeed. When perchance a soul whom we encountered leaves, just as certain as we all must face our destiny and return to dust. And in the midst of such despair, when mournful departure permeates the air, we ask ourselves of the whys and whens, of the stillness and silence of their pens. Though chance or choice might play a part in our lives and loves and art, we are here but for a second's pace, in lieu of time and unbounded space. Their words have healed and steered the way in our screams and dreams throughout the day, to guide us forward into the night and enfold us with unearthly light. In risque verse or genteel rhyme, where life is such a crucial climb, we rise to heights from these poets' hearts, from the faraway gates of their shrouded parts. We wail and mourn and shed our tears and revamp our hopes for future years. Their vision endures to soothe our sadness from a celestial fount of eternal gladness. We howl and yowl and question why such blessed essence should bid goodbye. But prideful death just cannot smile because the poets trod that further mile. For the future holds we know not what when death's door closes so abruptly shut. Part two is dance. To the poets, to the weavers of the words and makers of rhyme, to the jazz poets and the jizz poets, battening down the hatches and watering the cannon. For the poets, for the scribes, the vernal fire spitters and ancient ages, blessed be their hearts and jingly parts, to the tone and tenor of their universe, from the people to the people, for the people, for the poets of the people. Where they at, where they at? Poets just in from the rain, poets from the storm, poets from the Ninth Ward doing a heck of a job, poets from Poughkeepsie, poets from Manhattan, poets who be hating. No, he didn't. Poets who be abominations to all creations. Poets who mouth spout, yes we can. Change we can believe in, chump change. Poets that be sitting around saying stuff like word up. Poets who be saying, Havarigani, Ooga Booga, where you at? Poets with exotic sounding African names who still act like Negroes. Poets who believe everything they're taught. Poets who play it like they're so intellectually astute and they're just as ignorant as me. Poets that talk about, this is the Donald Rumsfeld part. Poets that talk about the knowns and unknowns and the things that they knew, which were the known unknowns, which is to say that there were things that they knew they didn't know. But there were also unknown unknowns that they didn't know they didn't know. Duh. I like to copy Mr. Baraka style, too. You know, he like that, all that shaking and dancing on the stage. Anyway, poets who sing the praises of the beautiful black women in nation time. Cliche. Poets on open mic night. My Nubian king, my Nubian queen. Cliche. Poets who be red, black, and blue and green, all by themselves in the heat of the night. Cliche. The poets of our blood, with some exceptions. Poets where dead lecturers live who rise, and raise. To the political poets and the greeting card poets, tender is the night. Academic poets, polemic poets, to those polished and proper pundits and punsters, the unholy grail of their shallow solutions and rudimentary renditions, to the poets at the readings who always going overtime and bullgorting the mic. Oops, my bad. To the poets around us, within us, and us in them, the people's poets. Poets in the tradition. I got bananas, watermelon, sweet patootie. I got bananas, watermelon, red to the rind. So good it keep the baby from crying. Poets like Aunt Sweet and Mama Rachel. The Lord don't like ugly. Everybody happy on wedding day. Take one to know one. Take care, be better than beg pardon. Don't rock the boat, especially when you're sitting in it. Some folks don't know what's good till it's gone. If there wasn't no losing, there couldn't be no winning. A hard head makes a soft behind. Keep on doing what you're doing, keep getting what you're getting. It ain't what people call you, it's what you answer to. The dog that bring tail, take tail. Some days you the pigeon, some days you the statue. Show me who you hang with and I'll show you, and I'll show you who you is. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. Don't throw away the baby with the bath water. Figures don't lie, but liars figure. Ignorance is its own reward. Don't shoot all the dogs because one of them got fleas. Never give a white man all your money. If my aunt told me that one day, I said, what do I give a white man my money for? A little boy Don't pray too hard for what you want. You just might get it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. White meat, don't eat white meat. When you lays down with dogs, you get fleas. Never compare your insides to somebody else's outsides. Father don't always know best, lest he father time. If you want to see a rainbow, you got to put up with a little rain. Just because your shoes is polished don't mean you ain't got no holes in the sole. Now, get out my face, boy. I got washing to do. Them kind of poets, pirates, prophets, and partners, liberation's libation to future generations from the edge of death's highway, the road we all must travel. Blessed be those who hearken to the tragedies and triumphs of their brief breath of life as we bury our dead, wipe away our tears, and continue the memory of their sacrifice in our struggle. Thank you. Linton Smith on trumpet.